Hello, Year 1, and welcome to your Tuesday, the 9th of February English lesson. So, yesterday we were innovating a poetry text map. We were all changing the bear to a monkey, and we were all changing the mountain to a jungle. And we changed the forest to bushes, we changed things to bananas, and we changed to bugs. Okay, and we had lots and lots of fantastic text maps sent in. Thank you so much for sending those in. So we're going to carry on today and we're going to move on to the next stage. Remember, it is still shared writing. So that means we're doing it collectively. We're helping each other. We're working together. We're all writing the same, but it's still different to our model text, our original text. Then you guys will get the fun part, which is the invention part, which will be used for your hot task. Okay, so today's starter is another cold spell practice, and it is the last 5 words that I've chosen for you. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to look, say, cover, write, and check each of these. Let's go through them first and just decide what they mean and what they are. So we have the word there. Now, we've had the word there before as one of our cold spells. This there is slightly different. This does not mean this is their clothing or this is their book bag or this is their jumper. What it means is over there. Okay, I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to go over there. Okay, it's directional, things like that. Okay, or there is Mr. K. There is Mrs. Brown. Okay, then we've got they, and the A sound is actually made with an E-Y. Okay, not an A-Y, E-Y. We've got two, and we've had two before as well, haven't we? We've had, when we were looking at Goldilocks, we were looking at, this one is too salty. And because it was too salty, it had 2 O's. This one is I'm going to the park. Or can I go to the shops? It's not our to, so this one has only got 1 O, so be very careful. Then you've got today, and I like to remember it as today. So you've got the spelling that you've done above to O, to, and then day, D-A. And in this A, it is the A-Y sound. And then we have was. Now, remember my sneaky trick. An A after a W makes the O sound. So that A after the W makes the O sound. So was. It sounds like an O, but it's actually an A. Okay, excellent work, team. So look, say, cover, write, and check those spellings. Tomorrow will be our final practice with these 10 spelling words. And then on Thursday, it will be our hot task. So really make sure you get the practice in. Once again, you don't need to turn these in. You just need to keep track of your score. Okay, I will ask for you to turn them in tomorrow and Thursday when we do our cold spell and we turn it into our hot spell. So pause the video here, look, say, cover, write, and check. Good luck. Okay, team, let's move on, shall we? So yesterday, we were looking at creating a new poem using some of our kind of ideas from The Bear Came Down from the Mountain. And we changed it to, let's remind ourselves, the monkey came down from the jungle. The monkey came down from the jungle, yawning the morning away. You can join in if you'd like. Scratching and sniffing and stretching and itching and hunting for most of the day. The monkey went into the bushes trying to find some tea, or hoping to find some tea. Stuffing and sticking and picking and licking bananas he found from a tree. The monkey went back to the jungle, yawning from having his fun, hopping and skipping and humming and singing and happy with food in his tum, with bananas and bugs in his tum. Yum. Excellent. So remember, I said to you at the start, we're doing shared writing. Now, I asked you, what does that mean? Okay, now shared writing, it means we're all going to complete the same poem first. And you might be thinking, what? I didn't get to create my own. Don't panic, because you absolutely will. This just helps us to learn the structure again. And then we'll move on to the final phase of our talk for writing, which is the inventing phase, okay, just before half term. So today, we're going to help write the poem, The Monkey Came Down from the Jungle. What resources do you think we might need to help us? There are 4 things we can use to help us today. What do you think? Pause the video, have a little chat. What could we use to help us? So the very first thing that we need today in our English lesson is we need our text map, don't we? The Monkey Came Down from the Jungle text map. You've all created those at home, okay? And what we need is those to help us, because they help us with the structure, they help us with the verses, they show us what to do. We can read from them very, very simply. We know what each picture means. The next thing we need, and you kind of see the edges, is our toolkit. Our toolkit is going to be one of our best friends today, because it shows us the things that we are expected to have in our poetry. I want to see a title, The Monkey Came Down from the Jungle. I want to see some rhyming couplets. And if you follow the structure of the poem, scratching, sniffing, stretching, itching, hunting, we've got them, team. I want to see a new line after the rhyming word. This is the one time where I will say to you, don't use your whole line, okay? Because usually we get through so many English books at school, but it's okay. So when we're doing that, scratching, comma, new line, and sniffing, new line, and stretching, new line, and itching, new line, and hunting, new line for most of the day. You might be thinking, oh my goodness, we're using so many lines, but it's okay in poetry. It's all about the verses. It's all about the pattern. It's all about the rhythm. I've kind of touched on this, punctuation at the end of each line, using some of those commas. Remember, a comma is like a full stop with a tail, and it's just a little breath. It's not a full stop. It's not a pause. It's not a and then carry on reading. It's a little gap, okay? And stretching and sniffing and okay, you can hear there's a little gap. And I want to see that punctuation, the exclamation marks, the ellipsis, those 3 dots, the commas, the full stops, all of it. And then you might include some interesting verbs. And again, if you follow your text map, every one of us will include interesting verbs: scratching, sniffing, hunting, okay, picking, sticking, licking, other rhyming words as well. And again, if you follow that structure, it will all be in there. Another thing that we can use is the original model text, because what we're doing is we are using that and we are just chopping and changing little bits, aren't we? We can still use the structure. So you can write your start like this, sloping down the mountain. But instead of writing the bear came down from the mountain, you're going to write the monkey came down from the jungle. Okay, so using that to help us, that might help. I'll make sure all of these attachments are on the Teams channel for you. And hopefully most of us are transitioning to using Teams. And the last thing that we can use is a lovely word mat. Okay, now on this word mat, it's got the key verbs like scratching, sniffing, stretching, licking, yawning, hopping, all those lovely doing words. Okay, so your task today, my friends, is to take those kind of 4 resources, the key one being our text map, and you're going to write your beautiful, beautiful The Monkey Came Down from the Jungle poems and try and make it look like a poem. So here is my start. Okay, you might decide to write kind of slanty like the model text. I just haven't got space on this slide, but that's okay. I've got a title, so already I've ticked off one thing on my toolkit. The monkey came down from the jungle. The monkey came down from the jungle, comma, new line. Yawning the morning away, full stop, new line. And scratching, comma, new line. And sniffing, comma, new line. And stretching and itching and hunting for most of the day. You can see I have just followed my text map for the first verse. Okay, so what I would do today, ladies and gents, while you're doing this writing, cut it up into the 3 verses. Okay, write the first verse, have a little movement break. Write the second verse, have a little movement break. write the third verse, have a little movement break. Okay, remember, all of the resources will be on the Teams channel for you to use as well. And if you're on YouTube still, please don't panic. I have put some of the resources in this video. Okay, as always, if you need a support, there is a scaffold, and here is my scaffold. The monkey came down from the jungle is our title. The monkey came down from the jungle, yawning the morning away. And you've got to look back at your text map, scratching and sniffing and itching, okay, and hunting for most of the day. So you can use this, fill in the gaps and trace over the other words, and you should be able to print that if you have the option to. The beautiful thing about poetry is I'm not asking you to write a really long story. Poetry is quite nice and short and snappy. So hopefully this shouldn't take you ages and ages and ages. And remember what I said, cut it up. That's why there are 3 pages on my scaffolds. Verse 1, verse 2, verse 3. Cut it up into manageable chunks for you. Here is the word map for you to use. It's got words: scratching, sniffing, stretching, itching, licking, yawning, hopping, skipping, stuffing, sticking, picking, humming, and singing, with some lovely, useful pictures to remind you that they are doing words and what they mean. Have a go today at writing the Monkey Came Down from the Jungle poem using that text map we created yesterday. All of the resources are going to be in the Teams channel, and just turn in that writing for me. Take a picture of it and turn it in. Excellent. Thank you, team. Have a lovely day.